Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Does the audio sound good? What's up? Let's check this thing. It is working. It does appear to be working. Beautiful. How's it going? How we doing? Let me flip this thing so I can see it. We're working on sort of well, not even sort of, just a very ragtag piece together setup today. uh, I am back in Indiana visiting my parents this week. I was planning to be back in Cleveland, back at my studio for the stream, but there's a lot of crazy weather happening. If anybody else is in the Midwest or Eastern Canada, it's quite foggy and icy out here. This is weird. Streaming standing up, it feels like I'm doing a stand-up set or something. You don't usually stream standing up. This is funny. How's it going? Jurianne Pappas, Jojo Mojo in the chat. What's up? Yeah, we hit 10K. It's 10.3 now. Pretty crazy. Off of the road video blowing up a little bit, which is cool to see. So yeah, I'm here in my parents' garage with a handheld mic and a miter saw, which is all you really need when you think about it. I'm chopping some wood today. I just bought a bunch of 2x4s off of my buddy. There's a funny story behind these 2x4s actually. There's like 36 of them over there. I've just brought home a ton of lumber, more than I probably need. 10K. Yeah. Congrats on the 8K, 10K. Yes. It's moving so fast. Nobody can even tell. What's up, Colt? How's it going? Congrats on 10K. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so we're here in my parents' garage with a very minimal setup, but we're making it work. My computer and audio interface and everything is literally sitting on the garbage can. This is my little table for today. Let me know if everything sounds good. I usually don't use the handheld mic for streams, but it's what I got right now, so we're making it work. Great hair, not gonna lie. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's funny, like setting up a place like that. Again, this feels so weird. It feels like I'm doing a stand-up set. I should have brought a little stool. But setting up this stream is kind of funny, like getting a garage lighting to not look terrible on video. Just a tip for videography people. Sometimes it's not about adding light. Sometimes it's about subtracting light. There's a light bulb here and a light bulb there that I turned off because it actually looks worse if there's more light behind you than in front. So I unscrewed those light bulbs, turned this garage door opener light on. Very ragtag, but we're making it work. We are out here and we are streaming. I'm not breaking the streak. I was tempted to just not stream this week, but we're making it happen. So it's going to be a short one today, partially because I don't know how long all my batteries are going to last here because I'm not plugged in on a lot. Like I'm running on camera batteries. I'm usually on AC power. So we'll see how long this light lasts, how long that camera lasts. It'll be a, 30, 40 minute stream. And also it's cold out here in the Midwest. And I'm in a there's no HVAC coming out here to the garage. So we'll see how long I can make it. Can I eat that wood? Yeah, man. Absolutely. It does look kind of tasty. Soft wood. Good stuff. So yeah, I've got like 36 2x4s that I bought off my buddy. He was making a movie. It's like a year and a half ago at this point that I helped him do some production and set design was mainly what I was doing, set design and costume design. And so I helped him build this giant spaceship set. I'm not going to like spoil anything that happens because the movie's not out yet. But I helped him build this giant spaceship set. That's all I'm going to say. And it required a lot of 2x4 framing. We built a bunch of 8-foot tall by 6-foot wide panels, 8 of them in an octagon, and there was a cool dashboard and cockpit stuff in the front. But we wrapped shooting on that, and so we took apart those old set pieces, and now we just have a gobs and gobs of wood that needs to get used for something. So here I am using it for something. Pappas in the chat. Yes, sir. Pappas worked on it too. Check out his channel and his short films and all that, of course. Yeah, so I got 36 of them. I was like, what the hell am I going to do with all these 2x4s? And the project I'm working on, so this, what you're seeing me cut wood for now, will be not this Tuesday's video, but the next Tuesday's video, which will be the 6th of February. I'm going to be building a bunch of new shelves for my studio, kind of tearing apart that whole wall of, like, you know, all the spray paint and stuff that I have set up in my studio, tearing that whole thing down and rebuilding in a way that makes it easier to move stuff. Because how I did that, how my wall of shelves and tools and stuff is set up right now is it's basically a bunch of free furniture I found on the side of the road, like just random, you know, TV cabinets, entertainment console type cabinets, and part of it is like a sewing machine table, just the most random stuff that I could find for free. So all of that was built on a budget of $0. But that makes it all very heavy and cumbersome to move. And since I'm moving in 2 months, I wanted to tear it all apart, get rid of that big old stuff, and build a more modular shelf wall. So that's what I'm cutting wood for today. That's what all this is for. So there's going to be a section of shelf there's going to be a section that's 36 inches wide, 1.5 feet, or 2.5 feet. What am I thinking? Is that correct? Or is it 3? It's 3 feet. I was off by 2 times, but 36 inches, yes, 3 feet. So there's a section that's 3 feet wide, and there's going to be 3 kind of shelves that stack. And then there's another section that's 2 feet wide that's going to stack as well. And I was doing all the math to check out how much wood I was going to need. So I have all this notated here. You can't see it, but of how many 2x4 bits I need of different lengths. And it adds up to a total of 9 6-foot 2x4s and 14 8-foot 2x4s is what I'm going to have to chop up. So out of the 36 that I have, I'm chopping up 23. So I'm actually using a lot more of this stockpile than I anticipated to. The goat is back. Thank you. I don't know if I'm goat status yet, but doing my best. I appreciate you. Wait, didn't 9K just hit last week? Nice job on the 10K. Yeah, it's going crazy. Yeah, literally last week's stream, 1 week ago from today, was hitting 9K, and now we're at 10K. So very wild to see. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing some measuring, marking my lines, chopping stuff. Hopefully the miter saw isn't too loud on the mic, but we'll find out, won't we? And we'll just be, hanging out as usual. So if you got any questions, anything to chat about in the chat, feel free to shoot some questions. Because I'm probably not going to be actually cutting wood the whole stream. That sounds a little boring. So yeah, just here with my little dumpster setup, my garbage can. I'm going to grab the first 6-footer and get to market, which usually I have like an extended headphone cable, but now I can't do that. So I do have a very long mic cable though, which is nice. Brought a couple 2x4s over here. I'm going to hit the 6-footers first because they're a little easier to manage on this setup. Unfortunately, I don't have I probably should set up sawhorses here so it's a little more stable, but as long as I'm kind of careful about the way I clamp things, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Let's see. So what do I have in my notes? What I just cut just before starting the stream, I cut a 6-foot 2x4 into 8-inch sections, which is going to be for a shallower shelf section. So next, I'm going to cut up 12 inchers, so 1-footers. So I'm just going to cut these next 2 6-footers into 6 equal pieces is what I'm going to do. Hey, Evan, congrats on the 10K. I was wondering how you started off with woodworking. Like, what projects were your first steps? Honestly, it's funny because, like, I mean, I don't try to position myself as an expert at all in my videos. Like, if you watch them, you can tell that I'm, in every video I probably say I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm actually not that experienced in woodworking. Actually the first projects I was doing were only maybe 3 years ago, building the desk that I still use to this day. Like the main desk that I have the computer stuff set up on, that was basically my first real sturdy wood project with 2x4s, 4x4s and plywood. And then working on the movie that I was just talking about, building those sets with the 2x4s that I'm harvesting today. That was another one of my first projects. So it was really just I got started with simple 2x4 framing. It's kind of hard to screw up, honestly. As long as you're being safe with your power tools, it's a pretty forgiving thing to start off with. It's almost like building big stuff like tables and, workbenches and shelves is almost easier than starting off with tiny trinket boxes or something. So I don't know, just start chopping some 2x4s. Pappas said, this is luxury wood compared to what you normally use. He's moving up. That's true. These are default lowest grade 2x4s, but usually I'm using pallet wood. So yeah, I guess in some respects this is luxury wood for me, even though it's still very cheap wood. You know what I didn't think about for this stream, which may contribute to some difficulties, is that I don't have a mic that I can use while I'm using both hands, which is kind of unfortunate. I didn't bring because I wasn't anticipating to be here. Again, I'm at my parents' house. I'm not back at my studio, and I wasn't anticipating to be here the whole week. I was supposed to be back in Cleveland, but then got kind of snowed in. It's still super foggy here. The ice cleared up a bit, but not exactly nice driving conditions. And I didn't pack my Rode wireless mic that I just made the video on. So unfortunately, I don't have a lapel mic that I can clip on and use. So I gotta be doing things one-handed. Good morning, Evan. It's 11 a.m. and I've just woke up with my arms in pain after yesterday's workout. That sounds painful, but maybe a good painful? I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Evan, how do I become budget Michael Reeves? Isn't Michael Reeves just budget Michael Reeves? At least his older stuff, right? I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun going to YouTubers like that. Like Michael Reeves, I did a thing, and searching for inspiration or more so reassurance in watching their old videos, sort by oldest and go back and watch old Michael Reeves, Willie Mosman, I did a thing, all their old stuff. It's kind of cool how much they're able to do with no budget, and that's where I'm at. Basically all my projects I'm doing with no budget right now. Um, so yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the nice thing about being a maker is that a lot of things that you want to do, you can do for pretty cheap. Um, you got some new tools? Nah, I'm just borrowing my dad's. So I'm back at my parents' place, just borrowing his miter saw, which is handy actually. That I was here to be able to use this because I can't really do this with my circular saw in my apartment. Usually, if there's a scene in any of my videos that I'm cutting up pallet wood, I usually do it outside and film out my apartment window. But it's so cold out that that's not exactly as nice right now. Um, yeah, so let's mark this puppy out. We're going to cut this 6-footer into 6 1-footers. Which technically a thing that you should be considering is that the blade itself is not, the blade itself has a thickness to it. So by the time I make 5 cuts across a 6-foot board, I'm losing an 1/8 inch on each cut. So by the end of it, I have a total of not not 6 feet, but 5 foot 11 and 3/8 because I'm losing an 1/8 inch on each cut. But for something like this, where I'm just building shelves, the 1/8 inch tolerance doesn't matter that much. So I'm just kind of rocking with it. So we're gonna cut these puppies up. I'm just gonna casually set my mic on the miter saw path. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let's see. Now I figure out how to balance my. Again, we're not dealing with the ideal setup here, but it does in fact get the job done. And let me know if this is getting far too quiet. I can turn up the compressor settings. Just gonna mark every foot here. One of the fun things about using this wood, or scrap wood in general, is that there's always lots of character and history in each piece. And in this case, these 2x4s all have a bit of chrome paint on them from the sci-fi set that they were used on. Dude, I found your channel today and love it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. This may not be the best introduction to what my live streaming quality is usually. Because once again, we are actually let me pull the camera around. This is the setup. My computer is on I have an HDMI cable that's far too short, and we are on a on a garbage can, and then we've got the miter saw over here. I'm gonna zoom in on the miter saw for a bit, actually. So you see what I'm talking about with the chrome paint on it? It's kind of cool because it'll, even though the wood is getting repurposed for a new use, it'll always signify the set of the movie that it was used on. Because I'm not going to paint over it. I might stain the raw bits. I'm going to stain, but the stain won't cover the chrome paint. So it'll always be part of the set. Raphael, good afternoon, Evan. Good afternoon or good evening from here in beautiful Indiana. So let's chop this sucker, huh? I'm going to set the microphone over there. Let me know if it's ear-piercingly loud. I'm going to cut from the right because this is the side that my clamp is on, so I can control things a little better. How's that? Is the audio terrible? The other annoying thing about this setup is that I'm using my laptop, which I haven't streamed from my laptop before, so I had to re-download OBS and set up my compressor settings again, which I didn't check what my old ones were, so not sure if things actually sound good. It's good? Sweet. As long as it's not killing headphone users. Speaking of that, I probably should be wearing ear protection myself, but safety third. 10K already, huh? Have you locked at the discounts from the Camera Gear store? Or looked at? I have a little bit. I need to look more into that, definitely. Please use hearing protection. You'll need those ears of yours for a while. This is true. That's a good point. I do work with audio, so it's kind of important. Let's see if these reach. Cut number 2, 2 through 5. I'm gonna slice through the rest of this board. Pardon me for a minute. The Sennheiser HD 280 Pros Prime Work Gear Ear Protection. I can't hear anything but just dropping in to say hi and give the stream a like. Sweet. Do you hear the miter saw at all? Or is it that good at because I'm pointing the mic away from it so it's not too loud, but hello, stuck waiting for the train, so I'll tune in. What's up? I'm just out here cutting wood. Really good content. This is one of the best parts of dealing with or using, the cheaper, softer woods, is that it is so darn easy to cut. It's like no problem. Same with pallet wood, usually. Sometimes you can luck out and get hardwood pallets, but that's few and far between. 6-footer number 2. This is not exactly the most efficient process. We've been going for almost 30 minutes already. Sweet. All right. Feel free to ask more questions or whatever, because likely I have a very long cut list here. This is the 8 inchers I've done. After this board, I'll have the 12 inchers done. And then I've got 4 16 inches, 8 18 inches, 12 21 inches, 8 23s, 20 24s, 12 29s, and 12 36s. So needless to say, I will be chopping wood for a good chunk of the afternoon tomorrow. I'm not going to do all this on stream, obviously. But yeah, we hear it. It's a lovely sound. Beautiful. I'm glad you like the power tool sounds, because a lot of times, especially that little oscillating cutter that I use sometimes, I've heard people on other channels say that they hate the sound of it, but I actually kind of like most power tool noises. I find kind of calming for some reason. which maybe means I'm sick in the head or something, but I don't know. I like it. Funny story about that, actually. When I was born, there was construction going on in the hospital when I was born, and it was going on like in the maternity ward. So as I was like, my mother had like a priest coming in to pray before the whole process, they literally couldn't hear the priest over the sound of jackhammers, so they had to move us. So maybe that's part of the reason that I enjoy power tool sounds now, because it was some of the first things I heard in this world. A little bit of backstory. All right, let's make some more cuts. Or actually, I got to mark more cuts first. 6 more 1-footers. And again, totally ignoring tolerances. As long as it's less than an 1/8 inch off, it's good in my book, I'd say. Hey, how's it going? What's up? What's up? No name. We are just out here keeping the streak alive, the stream streak, every Thursday, by doing what I can out here. I'm out of town, so just making content where there is none. Hanging out, cutting wood. What you making? We are cutting up some wood for some shelves. So this is going to be not the next video. So there's videos every Tuesday. Not the next one, but the one after that. So first Tuesday in February will be a video about making new shelves for my studio. Some more like modular stuff that comes apart instead of the super big pieces that I have right now. And that'll allow me to move a little bit easier, as I'm going to be moving studios in the next 2-3 months. So that's what we're doing right now, cutting up just a ton of 2x4 to frame up these boxes. And then I'll probably do the shelves themselves. So these are just going to make like cubes, basically, just like, 12 pieces making a wireframe cube. And then the actual shelves that stuff is going to sit on, I'm probably going to make out of pallet wood, just a bunch of pallet wood struts. Because most of these shelves are only 2 feet wide. The wider ones are going to be 3 feet. Now that I'm mentioning it, actually, I got to check if I have pallet wood struts that are 3 feet. I might do those out of plywood or something, but I'm going to try to buy as little wood as possible to get this done. So I just bought all of these 2x4s off my buddy. I got 36 of them. We're going to be cutting up 29, I think. Whatever I said. 23, I think. Not all on stream today, but yeah, we're going to be cutting up a lot of them and making a ton of shelves. Hearing protection is the best. Would recommend. Would. What's up, Fishua? I'm a carpenter myself, so love all these sounds. It sounds/smells like home. I usually make furniture. Sweet. Yeah, the smell of sawdust is a very nice thing as well. Except for in like in an apartment when I'm cutting up, because sometimes I'll cut up wood in my apartment, which I probably shouldn't do, but I do it anyway. And without great ventilation, it gets a little overpowering. But generally, I enjoy the smell of sawdust. I like what I'm kicking up in here right now. Good to know that's a thing. Yep. Next Tuesday. A week from this Tuesday. Hey guys, where y'all from? We out here in Indiana right now. In the beautiful Midwest. Hella foggy out here, which is why I'm trapped here instead of going back to my studio and streaming from my regular place. Hey, Evan Monsma, hey chat, hope y'all are doing well and having a peaceful night/day. Very peaceful. Cutting wood is quite meditative. Cutting wood while streaming, whole different animal, but we chillin'. Well, let's see the sawdust fly. Absolutely. So I just marked out this one. And it's time to make another set of cuts. Pardon me while I make very loud noises. Hearing production. Oh, is that my camera dying? It appears to be my camera dying. 1 second. I've got one spare battery. After the second spare battery, we're done. That's all I've got. And I'm sure it doesn't help that it's cold out either. This is something I was thinking about the other day. How funny it is that, like, for most electronics, you've got chips and you've got batteries, and chips don't do as well in the heat, but batteries don't do as well in the cold. It's kind of a funny dichotomy. Oh, and check this out. Now there's a split in the screen. You see that? Whenever the camera dies, it does that. And I have to deactivate it and then reactivate it, and now it should be gone. There we go. Rip camera. Yeah, we're running off battery today. Just another part of the jank setup. I'm waiting on this light to die here. That's probably going to happen soon. The world is very hostile to electronics. Exactly. All right, let's finish these cuts. That one was a little off. Whoopsie. Hoping I don't cut through any screws here. I think like 1 or 2 of these boards have screws left in them, but the chances of running into one of those is low. I've been on shoots where it's so cold and for very long periods of time I have to keep my batteries in a cooler box that has heat. That's funny. Yeah, there was somebody in the Discord, actually, Lyndon in the Discord was just talking about how he was doing a shoot out in the cold. It was like, I was in Celsius because he's in Canada, so I don't remember the numbers, but it was very, very cold, well below freezing. And he put some of those little hot hands, like heater packs in his pockets with a bunch of batteries to keep it going. Let me find a place to put these suckers. Running out of space. On my little trash can setup. Once again, the whole stream setup here, my laptop and everything is on a garbage bin. Literal garbage setup. It's also quite cumbersome not streaming with 2 monitors. I'm usually I can have OBS up on one and the stream up on the other, but not today. Okay, so what's next? So we've got our 8-inch sections, 12-inch sections. I'm going from smallest to largest. Next is 4/16s, which also equals 6 feet. So, or no, it doesn't. Slightly under 6 feet. But we can use a 6-footer and get that done plus a little bit of change. So, yeah, I just need one 6-footer. Two of them. Let's see. So 4/16-inch. And this time, because I've got some change left over at the end of my 6-foot 2x4, I can actually properly add an 1/8 of an inch tolerance for the saw blade, which I was not doing before. It matters maybe more for some boards than the others. All the 8-inch and 12-inch sections are like depth-wise for the shelves. So it should matter less for that than it does for the width and the height. So I'll try to be more accurate on this one. But you know, at the end of the day, wood bends and screws pull them together, so we're not making no artisan beautiful stuff here. We're just getting the job done. 16 inches. So this is going to be 16, and then I'm going to add, I believe it's an 1/8 inch each time. So 16 and then 32 and an 1/8. And then 48 and an 1/8, right? 48 and 2/8, otherwise known as 1/4. 48 plus 16 is 64, right? Yeah. 64 and 3/8. God bless America units. Those should be our cuts. Round 3. Ear protection sponsored by Sennheiser HD 280 Pros. All the real carpenters use Sennheiser. Is this just a wood cutting ASMR stream? That's basically what I'm doing here. Close enough for me. That's cool. Just getting to see another person work is fun. Keep it up. Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see what's next. I only needed 4 of those, so that's my 16 inchers. 18 inchers, which I can get 4 of those out of each 6-footer. And I need 8 of those. So this is a pretty simple one then. If there's any carpenters still in chat, does anybody know any good ways to unwarp warped 2x4s? I'm just realizing I should have used the warped ones for the smallest segments because that should matter the least in theory. The warp won't matter at like 8-inch segments. But eventually I got like 2 of them that are pretty warped. And I got to figure out what I'm actually doing with those in a way that makes them useful. Not sure. Not sure if there's a way to undo them. Okay, so this one gets cut into 4 18-inch segments. 18, 36. Right? Am I doing my math right? 54. 6 foot. Oh man, that's not good. What, warping? Yeah, these ones aren't warped. I'm just avoiding using the warped ones till the end. Out of the 32 or 36 or whatever I said I had, 2 of them are warped. So maybe I'll just use them for stupid little jigs and stuff that doesn't really matter as much as like a piece of furniture that I would like to keep it square and level. I don't know. Chopping time. With these 18 inchers, I'm getting to a point where I really should have a sawhorse set up on the side because they're getting long enough where once I've cut them on the non-clamped side, they want to fall down. Just need to set the best ones aside for the tops, ones that'll be seen the most. Yeah, true, but I don't really care about the visual, more so like I'd rather have a wonky looking desk than one that is actively unstable. Or well, these are shelves anyway, so since they're getting stacked up high, I'd rather not have them be wobbly. So I'm just going to avoid using the warped stuff. Yes, that happens. You can plane them, but then they'll become a little thinner. Yeah, I've been meaning to get a planer. They're just a couple $100, a little more than I'd want to spend on them right now. But a planer is something that I really want to, because for pallet wood, that's like a game changer. Being able to, because not all pallet wood is the same thickness exactly. So being able to equalize, send all of that to the same thickness is going to be like, that would be very, very helpful. Oh, by hand? Hand planing a warped board? Some of these are very warped. Yeah, let me show you. This is the worst one. I guess it's hard to tell on the stream. Do I have a flat thing I can put it up against? It's more bent towards this. Yeah, you can't really see it, but I promise you it's warped. Here. See, it's not touching the ground there. This one is... It's that much off. But that's by far the worst one I've got here. So just trying to figure out what I want to do with that one. How much sawdust do you have packed in that bag? Looks full. You know what? That's a good point. It's not my saw. So, interesting. You know, I actually don't know how to empty this thing. Oh, never mind. Now I do. Oh, it's broken. You know what? That's something I'll deal with after the stream. But good lookout. I'll figure that out more after the stream. I think I'm going to cut this next 18-inch segment and then maybe just end because it is quite cold out here. Point it down the camera like looking down the scope of a gun. Let's see. Yeah, now you can see the warp. Not very good. Anyway, I'm going to cut one more 6-footer into 8-foot, or one more 6-footer into 18-inch segments, and then we'll be done with all of the depth pieces. Then I just have the longer width and height parts of the shelves, but that'll be good to have done today, and they'll finish up in the morning off stream. You're going to throw that at the wall, sawdust all over? Possibly. No, I'm not going to do that. Not my place to screw up. Once I have my own studio that I can, trash, absolutely. One more 6-footer. One more 6-footer for the culture. I didn't see the bag back on it. I put it back on. Okay. Marking time. There's a chance. I'm streaming here out of town because I wanted to keep the streak alive. But there's a chance I stream tomorrow as well for a more extended hangout session and actual celebration of 10K, because that's big. I'll be in Indianapolis tomorrow with some buddies, so might do a goofy little stream tomorrow as well, which would be kind of fun to do 2 days in a row. This is the more chill work sesh. Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, you can use a machine for those. Cut them in half so they're as flat as possible, and then plane them. You lose a bit of thickness. Yeah, true. Or I can find a use where I can just pin it down with a bunch of screws, have it somewhere where it can just get forced straight. I don't know. And pro tip, make sure you have the concave side down. Interesting. Oh, for planing? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You're killing it, man. Keep it up. Hell yeah. Thank you. All right. One more board. We'll be in at an hour stream, which is solid. Let's mark this puppy out. I'm sure that makes a terrible noise when I set down the mic like that. My apologies. 18 inches. 36. 54 and the end. Put the mic over here so I don't destroy your speakers. And the final cut of the day. That's all for now, folks. Do you have a Discord? I do. It's in the description. Lots of cool makers of all kinds hanging out there. I would pull it up, but I don't have desktop capture set up yet. Ooh, my laptop is full of sawdust. That's awesome. Yeah, we're good. I have thought about, like, I wonder how bad sawdust in, like, air intakes of technology, how bad that is. I'm sure it's not good. There's only a light smattering of sawdust on my laptop, but like my main camera also has like active cooling fans, and that thing has gotten pretty coated in sawdust before. So I always wonder, how bad is that actually? I might make a custom cage for my camera with like air filters on it, kind of like a respirator, so that it doesn't suck in sawdust. Plug them up and no airflow, not good. Yeah. Yes. So I kind of want to make a custom case for my camera at some point that protects it from sucking in sawdust. It'd be a very niche project, but it would be unique for sure. Yeah, but Discord link is in the description, in the pinned comment of all the videos too. Yeah, lots of cool people in there. It's a legitimately really good place to go for advice on various projects, or even just to show off what you made. Cool spot. I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, so I believe that's it for today. We got the 8-inch done, 12-inch done, 16-inch done, 18-inch done. So now I've just got 21, 23, 24, 29, and 36, which is a lot less cuts because they're longer pieces. I don't need, well, I guess I need 20, 24 inches, but that's quest for tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around, hanging out on this weird out-of-town stream. It's sort of an off week, but might do an additional stream tomorrow as well, depending on how the boys in Indianapolis are feeling about that when I go down there. So yeah, short one today, but possibly additional stream tomorrow, depending on the circumstances. Another video tomorrow, or Tuesday, of course, every Tuesday. It's going to be kind of a tough one to get out this week, because I'm not in town until Monday. So, but I have some archive footage to cut up from an older project that I've been meaning to get out for a while. So this is a good opportunity for me to do some editing on an older project and get that video out. And then I'll wrap it up in the studio Monday, have it out Tuesday. And then the Tuesday after that, we will see the results of all this wood cutting and more. Lots of shelves, big old shelves, very tall. The best shelves, the biggest shelves. Extremely overbuilt with 2x4s, definitely. Yeah. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Keep your eyes out for possibly a stream tomorrow. I'll let you know in the Discord if you're in the Discord. Thanks for streaming, Evan. We'll see you next week again. Have fun making the new video. Hell yeah, I will. Nice. Have a good one. Yep. Thank you, brother. Thank you for hanging out. That's it for me. I'm going to filibuster for 7 seconds so I can make it over the 1 hour mark. Because, I don't know. It's a personal goal. Honestly, I was only aiming to do like 30 minutes today. Because I figured it would be cold and a crappy setup. But this was actually fun. Good time. But we'll be back to the regular setup next week. So, yeah. Peace, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.